What's going on, guys? Josh here, grindreel.com. That's my website. I'm working on it. Go check it out. You guys know who this is. We've been talking for a while. We've done a few streams together, but today we're doing Codingphase. Joe Santos Garcia and his story. Like, he wasn't always a developer. He grew up, he didn't have a whole lot of money, single parent. He went to a little crappy community college, got a degree for IT stuff, got a job doing IT for this company where he was just really unhappy, and he thought he was going to be doing some cool stuff like working with the FBI, cybersecurity, all this neat stuff, but he just ended up being what he calls the janitor of the tech world, helping people find their lost passwords, finding their data, finding their bookmarks on their browser, just simple stuff. And so he's like, this is not for me. So he learned how to code, and he went from making like 22 bucks an hour to 20,000 a month. He actually has a lot of like family friendly oriented goals, and he just wants to help people that grew up and didn't have much. Like, right now he's working on like a Codingphase headquarters where people can come in and learn to code, and it's all free. Like, he's taking time out of his day to do this, and I'm not being paid or trying to shill or any of that. Like, but he wants to go to like high schools for like inner city kids and be like, look, if you learn to code, you can bring yourself up into these upper income brackets. And that's like his end goal. He just wants to help people, same as me. But he's actually a pretty, altruistic person. And I think if you just give him a chance to hear him out, you'll enjoy this story. He's a good guy. I'd love to know what you guys think. My email's in the description below. Leave some comments, drop some comments. Go check out Codingphase's channel. He has some courses that he makes to help people, get jobs. So go check out those as well. The links I'll pin as a comment down below if you're interested. Hope you guys enjoy this video, and I'll see you in the next one.
My name is Joe Santos Garcia, aka Codingphase. I'm originally from Dominican Republic, raised in Bushwick, Brooklyn, and lived most of my life in Ridgewood, Queens, which is 2 minutes away from Bushwick. Basically, I moved out here with my mom, who was a single parent. Okay, crazy. We moved around 17 times, throughout my childhood. My mother was a person who used to work at a restaurant for some time. She was a teacher in Dominican Republic, but once she got here, her degree didn't mean anything anymore. So she had to start from the bottom. Okay, so we never had anything. After years, probably like 15 years, she went and got her associates in a community college. And from there, she just became a teacher assistant. Okay, so in my household, there's never been anything above $35,000. Like, that's the whole year. Like, me, my sister, my older sister, and my mom, everything that we had to do needed to be done with that $35,000, and my mom would get every single year. When I went to high school, college was out of the question. And not because I couldn't go, I got accepted to a couple of colleges. I was going to go to Syracuse in New York. But then I said, I'm not going to go because it's going to make me, start life at negative. I didn't want to go to college and end up with $100,000 debt and still start from the bottom, like on some BS job. So what I did was I went to a community college, went to a program called Programming and Systems, where we never did programming. I don't know why they call it Programming and Systems. Graduated, whatever, and I started doing IT work.
Can we ask how much did you get paid at your very, very first job, IT, with your community college degree?
Like $40,000.
When did you get your first foot in the door? Like, I want to code. IT, setting up computers and stuff is not for me.
At 14, I remember it was like right after junior high school, after 8th grade, I got really into Dragon Ball Z. And then I said, I'm going to build a Dragon Ball Z website. So somehow I figured it out, looking at tutorials, like on blogs and, like different things online. And I didn't even know how to code. Like, put this thing out there. Like, some people might say, oh, he started at 14. No, I did not start at 14. I pretty much copy and paste code that other people, like HTML and CSS that other people had. I didn't understand it. I just copied and copied and copied and copied until a page looked somehow a little bit good. You know, if you guys ever seen those websites on angelfire.com back in the days, like that's how my
GeoCities.
GeoCities, yeah, that's how my website used to look. I figured out how to upload videos to a server. Next thing you know, that website was getting like 500,000 unique visitors per month. Okay, so that was at the age of 14. And then from there, I received a letter from like the FBI or something like that. Like, oh, you know, there's copywritten, you know, videos, like you can't be putting this up. So I got scared and then I walked away. I deleted the website, deleted everything, and I walked away from. Fast forward to the age of 24. I'm in a freaking office working as an IT worker. Horrible experience. I wouldn't recommend that to anybody. That's like being the janitor of the tech industry. I thought in my head, I was like, man, I'm gonna walk, you know, I'm gonna be working in Wall Street and I'm gonna be, you know, wearing a suit. I'm gonna be making mad money. I'm gonna be comfortable. People are gonna respect me. And it's like, nah, that's not what I got. I got people just pretty much telling me like, oh, I forgot my password. Can you get my password? Can you reset my computer? Can you get my data back? And I was like, man, like, what do I do now? I went to school for this shit. I did 2 years. And like, do I want to continue in this field? And I'm like, nah. You know what? I'm leaving this company. So I quit. So that was around like, I don't know, maybe like 2011 to 2011 something,
Did you save up
2012.
money? How did you do that and live?
I quit my job. I had like $2,000. So in my head, I'm thinking like, okay, if I just stay at home and learn at home and I don't even go out, I could stretch this $2,000 for 6 months. So what I did was I started going to like Goodwill, like buying their like eVisu jeans or True Religion jeans from like Goodwill and like what's the other one, like, you know, thrift stores and stuff like that. So then I would resell it on eBay for like $200, something that I bought for $20, $30. So then from there, that just helped me maintain myself all that time while I was learning to code. So it took me a whole year to get my first job. You know, there's so many people telling you what to do and so many different type of resources. So one person tells you learn Angular, one person tells you learn React, one person tells you learn Vue, one person says focus on PHP, somebody says focus on JavaScript, etc. So you spend all of this time trying to master every single technology out there and every single language and framework. And then you realize that you could have gotten a job with just the basics. Okay. And that's what happened to me. I spent a whole year. At that time, there was Backbone, Knockout, it was Angular. What else was in there? jQuery, of course. There was like a lot of stuff. There was like PHP. I was still trying to learn Ruby. So I had so many different things that I was trying to do at the same time that it took me a whole year till I felt comfortable. Not till I could have gotten a job, but till I could like the courage of going in there and be like, I'm ready to go to a job interview. You be so scared when you self-taught. You're so scared of like, man, are they gonna ask for a computer science degree? Are they gonna ask me some crazy algorithm? They're gonna ask me this, and that. You're like so scared that in reality you stay at home waiting until you're ready. I've always been good with the front end. So if you give me a design, I'll make sure that it's exactly like the design. So I focus a lot on that. So with that, that opens the door, right? That opens the door to be like, man, this guy's a professional. But then I wasn't comfortable doing the interviews. So basically failed at Twitter, failed at Tumblr. Okay. And then I was ready to give up. I said, you know what? Maybe this thing is not for me. Maybe I might have to go and get a computer science degree. What I realized was it was because I was already nervous. When I went to those interviews, I was already nervous. I was like, man, I don't know if I'm gonna fit in. I don't know if they're gonna look at me weird. I don't know if they, you know, I was like thinking so many different things instead of thinking about the presentation and the code. And I failed no matter what. I was gonna fail no matter what. You know, it's like I already had a loser mentality before I even got there. Then what I said was, what do I do? Do I just wait until I get a job, you know, at a major company, or I could just say I'm gonna take whatever job hires me next. And once I get that stamp that says web developer, then from there I can move on to whatever job I want. I took a job at an e-commerce company. Basically, it was like in a warehouse. It was no offices, no nothing. Like when they used to open up the warehouse, we will be in there with jackets, and I'm there fixing up the HTML, CSS for their website, and it's like really bad. Now thinking about it, I was like, yo, that place is crazy. Like, there's no vacation time. You can never be. And at the top of everything was that I was making $13 an hour, which
So
is
that's quite a
horrible.
drop. I mean, from 40 to 13. So 40 is like
Yeah,
21, almost. It's $20.80 an hour, and you're
yeah.
making 13 to do something that you like.
Exactly. Yeah. So it was really bad. I was like, man, I didn't want to tell nobody, like I was still like, once I got my job, my family was happy. So, oh, you got a job. That's great. You bring home for a year. And then the first week that I got hired, I was already applying for other jobs, because I knew like I could get other jobs, but I just needed to get that stamp to say I worked somewhere, and somebody, believed in me already. A lot of people, I see people that be like, oh man, I got offered, a $50,000 job, but I know there's people getting jobs for 80 and 90. They won't take it because they think like, oh, they'll get the $90,000. And it's like, nah, sometimes you just need that stamp on your resume and then you get to that 90. If you're going to be happier being a developer and you know damn well, like, hey, most of the places that you go to, they're not hiring you because you don't have the experience. But there's a place that's hiring you that's going to pay you a little bit less, but it's going to give you that experience to get those jobs that you wanted to get at first. Go do that, like go ahead and sacrifice. I sacrificed for like three months, and then from there I jumped to another company. You should never be loyal to a company because a company is never loyal to you. So the idea that you have to be in a company and stay there forever because they hired you or they gave you your first opportunity, no, because if their money starts going down, the person that's going to get cut is you. Nobody cares if you got to pay bills. Nobody cares about anything else. They're gonna cut you out and say, okay, sorry, we have to let you go. Things have been bad. I've learned that from bad experiences. I've been in, and every single time that I get a new job, it's a little bit higher. I get higher pay, or it's better benefits, or it's a better opportunity for me. First job, fast forward, I was working uh, as like a contract developer for our company called Creator Circle. So I was working in multiple companies, like big companies, like I did websites for Kellogg's, I did websites for MTV, Universal Music Group, a whole bunch of them. One of the biggest mistakes that I made in my career as a developer was being lazy, in the sense of I was living in Long Island, so I didn't want to go to the city, which is a 45-minute ride to work at a major company. I was going to work for Tidal. And I decided to say no to Tidal to go work for a small business that was in my area in Long Island. Their company was like horrible. Like they had a system that was like from 1999 or something. Like they were using Perl. They were using a really bad like infrastructure. Like it was so bad. And what's funny was that I wasn't making as much money I would have made on Tidal. On Tidal, I was gonna make 105,000. On this company, I was making about like 80 grand, right? And then being there at the end, I was like, okay, can I get a raise? They're like, no, we can't, not right now. Can I get a vacation? No, we can't right now because this is crunch time.
Is this the
So
job that you quit?
yeah.
That's the one that you quit, and then you said
That's
never
what
again.
I quit, and that's it. I'm not going back to small businesses. I mean, I like small businesses because it's more personal, but at the same time, a lot of owners of companies, they try to take advantage. They know that if they could squeeze out of you $4 or $5 million and they only pay you 80, $70,000, they made a huge profit. Now, if they go and pay you $100,000 plus a $10,000 bonus at the end of the year, in their head, they don't understand that you just made them like $4 or $5 million.
If someone wanted to get into the industry, what would be like your tip for someone starting out to get where you're at?
Okay, so my recommended path, I will say, start with the basics of web development. Learn HTML, CSS very well. I see a lot of people that they jump into JavaScript before they even know how to convert any design from a PSD to a full website. If you don't know how to do that and your website does not look exactly like the design, you shouldn't jump to JavaScript first. Right? You need to first master HTML, CSS, then jump into that. Okay? Because JavaScript is a programming language, but at the same time, if you don't understand the DOM, you don't understand how HTML works, it's gonna be difficult for you to be able to manipulate the pages, and that's what you really do with JavaScript. So
What is your end goal? Because I know like you're opening the Codingphase headquarters, which is going to be like a shared working space, so people kind of like Casey Neistat's 368, but for you in coding. So what's like your end goal? Because you're self-employed right now, doing your own thing, and you want to open.
I want to do the Codingphase headquarters, having like an open space where people could come in, even YouTubers. Like I'm gonna have the equipment there. People could come in and do their videos. Completely free. Of course, they could do a donation. You know, you come in and use the space for 4 hours, you donated $10. Like you got everything for what? $2.50 per hour. Like, it helps out. So it's like in reality, it's just gonna be like a nice spot. Also too for developers to do meetup groups, or even I'm thinking about having some kids from a junior high school that's close by, maybe tell them like, hey, after school program, like for 1 hour, if you want to learn how to code, come in for free, teach to the kids, you know. At the same time is good for me because I'm also getting better as an instructor to teach people how to code, but yeah, like the spot that I'm getting, the headquarters, is gonna be a cool place, man. It's gonna be a cool place for everybody to come in and just work. Same time, anybody that wants to come meet me or come hang out with your boy here in Connecticut is gonna be in Prospect, Connecticut. It's gonna be a pretty nice spot. There's just so many ideas that I have. Like I really want to continue helping people, so I might just go back to school to get a degree. But the reason why I want to get a degree, maybe for like a master's in computer science, is really just to be able to teach like in a community college. Because I know a lot of people think like, man, community colleges are really bad, and they are bad. But for there's people out there that that's their only opportunity to go to school, right? And there's a lot of college professors there that they look at that as a check, like, oh, I just got a check, and I'll go in here, I'll give them whatever they want, and who cares? I was like, this guys, they're never gonna make it. They're never gonna go anywhere. So I feel like I could maybe make a difference, either opening my own school or going to a community college, doing maybe 3 4 hour course in there, like do something cool. I don't know.
So
Yeah, I mean, even my YouTube channel, like before I even started talking about coding, I had other YouTube channels. I had another YouTube channel that was about music. The first one that I did was a failure, right? And that was like in 2009, around there, where I just talked about music and album reviews and little things like that. That failed. Then from there, I did another channel which was more about every time that a new album comes out, I will post it up online. Okay, so then it had like a very big following. I sold it once it got to 100,000. I sold it, and that was fine. But then now I'm coming back to YouTube now. I got this new channel, Codingphase, and I feel like I found more success here because I actually built a community. Before it was just like me posting videos just to post them. Like now it's more about, hey, let me help people out. Let me give them what has helped me, and give them the answers that I wish somebody would have gave me in the beginning.
anything you want to say before we bounce?
All right, guys. Well, Yeah, go check out my website, man. Go check out my YouTube channel, Codingphase, right? So it's just like that, like my logo is codingphase.com. Basically, I have courses there to learn how to code, but give it a chance, right? If you have been trying to get into this industry, I did this the long way. It took me a whole year to get into this industry. Yeah, so go check it out on the website, man, codingphase.com. A lot of good courses and a lot of good content here on YouTube. And now with the new Coding Phase headquarters, there's gonna be even more content and a lot of cool stuff that's gonna be happening there. So definitely check it out, man.